Captain Quirk's big time show. But anyway, I'm here today with Bob the Bobbo, formerly known as Bob the Knob, Bob the Bowler, many aliases. And we are going to be doing the first pre-screening for the upcoming premiere of Zombie Sex Bar, the director's cut. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a little bit of examining at the video, and discussing with the director what his thoughts were, and we will be.
You can see some of the scenes coming up right now.
Well, yeah, we're going to start rolling film right quick. God, I was doing really good. I think we should redo that.
No, it was good. Just keep going, and I can recut it.
I don't think you will. All right. So describe to us this first scene we're seeing here.
Well, I think anyone out there with a third grade education will understand that that is a crop circle. Crop circles. That is how aliens have been communicating with our planet for a number of years.
Why are you showing this advertisement for Space Meth? I'm confused. I don't understand how that's going to draw the audience in.
No, actually, I'm showing that, and then I'm showing the billboards I created based on my impression of how they would communicate with humans. I think there's going to be a natural progression. Aliens started out with crop circles, but they're moving towards communicating with us with billboards. That's how they're going to communicate. They're very retro, and they're going to use ways of communication that we have never considered. I mean,
well, what does that have to do with the film?
The whole premise of all my movies, if you fit them all together, is about an insidious alien invasion. Every aspect of it. And it has to start somewhere. It starts with crop circles, and then it grows from there to billboards. Suddenly billboards appear with alien messages. But that is only the tip of the iceberg as to the terrible things that are going to happen in the near future. And they're shown in this video that you're going to be seeing. This is a little bit like an infomercial. And you may wonder why I'm showing an infomercial at the beginning of my films, in my director cut.
Well, I have a responsibility to my audience, to let them know that, this is not a movie. This is not a film. This is clearly an infomercial. This is advertising. I'm struggling to give a definition and tell my fans out there to come see your movie when I don't know if I can tell them that. I have to tell them to come see their infomercial.
Think of this. Just give this a moment of consideration. Millions of people go to the movies every weekend, and they pay up to $12, $15, and the first 30 minutes is infomercial. They're paying for an infomercial. Every one of the people that are going to be watching this film are going to get a certificate. They're going to get a card, so they get paid for coming to my film. They don't get the full pay unless they sit through every sad second of my whole production.
Now let's talk about that for a minute. It's an interesting concept. It's definitely in opposition, and that's where I have to give you credit. It's definitely in opposition to the mainstream, movie industry. You actually pay your audience members to attend your movies. So in that retrospect, you're like the Facebook of movies. You're really secretly just generating profit from advertising, but yet giving them trinkets. Is this the type of art you attest to?
Absolutely. I have always lost money on generating the excitement of my products. Just like the internet's companies. Amazon has never made a profit. Many of these internet companies have never made a profit. It's just that I understood early on that my art was of such a nature that it could never make a profit, but it could still produce a buzz. It could produce a rush. It could produce a gush. And I'm also telling my story about the aliens, and I think people appreciate that. They appreciate being warned about these things. But up there you see that I'm not just a one-horse pony. I'm a multi-horse pony, because you see my books up there. You see my website where you can buy my books. I mean, I don't think you're going to buy one of my books. All I'm doing is generating a buzz. I could care less if you go to this website and buy one of my books. People in Germany have bought my books, and the language was so complex that they didn't get through the first page. They looked at the book, they read a paragraph, they tried to read it. It was completely intractable to them, so they throw the books to the side and said, "This is unreadable."
It's kind of like your other project, Books Without Words.
Yeah, Books Without Words. I generated that idea. You can see my posters about there. People call them posters, but they're actually art frames. Because if you call them posters, you can't charge the big New York artist fees for it. So they got to be art frames. Jimmy Bacon, Jumpin' Jimmy Bacon, taught me that I needed to market my art. Even though my art could never be more successful, he said you can market it more successfully. You don't call these posters that you're seeing back there, call them art frames. Video art frames. And by the way, I've moved from books. You can see my books there, you can see my website, but I've moved on, and now the only thing that I'm not selling, and I'm gonna preface that word again, not selling, are my brochures. I'm sending out brochures. You can go to this site here, and I'll send you a free brochure right through the mail. You may be on the internet all day, but you get tired. You say to yourself, my goodness, it's been like 6 months since a Jehovah's Witness visited the house and brought a brochure in. I sure could do with a brochure from Mr. Bobo. So you just go to this site, you get sent the brochure, and you don't pay me a cent unless you state, if you state this, that you got $1.99 worth of value, then you must immediately pay me that sum. You know about that case in Mexico where that guy refused. He said my stuff was great. He got $2 worth of value, and then he refused to pay a cent.
Seems like a marketing dilemma you have there.
No, it's not a dilemma. No.